Okay, so after you've made one mistake, obviously compounding that mistake by not recording um, does it again. So now I go on about my team. I'm saying here that maybe I should name the players that aren't actually players I've signed as like Meat Shield or just something, so you know that they're not really players we're looking at. I do say that my defenders want positioning, my wingers want dribbling. This guy I want creativity or passing. Um, this guy I want to be a defensive midfielder, so he'll have positioning and tackling. And this guy is going to be where my goals come from generally, and I want him to have some sort of dribbling. And then I'd speak about my attackers. I do say that an attacking midfielder scores less than a central midfielder, and I don't know why. And then speaking about my attackers, I want them to have off the ball, but I generally have it so that my left-hand one has dribbling if I can't find one off the ball. However, it's not going to matter much because we'll be able to find off the ball players very quickly. And then I say that God knows, I have no idea. I think I'm saying that the two on the left are like more important than the one on the right, but I might not be saying that either. Who knows? Now I say about the things that I have in terms of pressing. I'm not having anyone press. I have everyone press except my centre backs. Everyone presses. That I like my wingers being back for attacking set pieces because they're the only players I don't have as jumping as like their main thing. They all do. Defensive, I quite like my attackers back, but currently they haven't got very good jumping, so I don't care. This is absolutely fine. Better to have the wingers forward because they're more likely to score a solo goal. No one has a free roll. It's not implemented correctly. Forward runs for almost everybody. Don't want my defensive midfielder on forward runs though because that'd be a disaster. So he's the glue holding the rest of the team together. And I do say that I'm not even sure having the attackers on forward runs is all worthwhile. Obviously, I'm going to have my wingers running with the ball, but again, and my central midfielder, my main central midfielder, don't know how much it affects the game. No one holds the ball, none of that in this game. Long shots, no, we're not shooting from outside the box. Try through balls works best when you've got one player with it on. The difference between try through balls and not try through balls is minimal, but you know we move. Cross ball, I want my wingers to cross. Again, I don't know how much difference this makes. And then marking, I like my two outside centre backs to be man marking, and then my central one sort of zonal, and my defensive midfield sort of zonal. I don't really know if it does anything. And my overall tactics are attacking, hard, pressing on, short passing, and offside trap on. And again, don't know how much it does. So I'm still trying to get Hardiker, which doesn't happen. Attacking and defensive basically either pumps up your off the ball or your positioning. So attacking pumps up off the ball, defensive pumps up positioning. And generally in this game you want more off the ball, so that's why attacking works better. This is where I start signing players, so I get quite excited about the fact that I've now got at least a couple more players to take up arms. Again, I do say something about Ross Squire very soon, which is quite prophetic. I say about his passing being really important. I just give up with these players because I'm never going to beat any other team for them. I do really want Darlington. I don't know why they're refusing to sell him to me. They never want to keep him. They always want to dump him off, so I'm going to buy him. I forget some of these players that I bought. I don't. I say how bad what the scout picks is. That guy would never ever be in my team ever. He doesn't do anything that he needs to do. And then we play the first game, and then I get really excited that Carl Alford gets an offer for him because he's on £1,500 a week, and I'm so excited about this that after I promote the players, to make sure that they're not playing reserve games, I think I show that how much money is on. Sure I do. Maybe I don't. Again, my head had fallen off so many times. Well, not at this point, but it has now. So now I start like putting the players in the team. There's my defensive midfielder. Not very good at defending, but whatever. I do say how much of an upgrade these two players are because they can both jump and they're going to be my outside centre backs. They can't tackle, but you know, Guardiola said that tackling is recursive. It's something that you don't need in the game, so we're not going to tackle. Easy as pie. I get quite excited about the fact that I've now got a substitute. However, sub 4 is always my substitute winger, and that would confuse me if it wasn't substitute winger. And I also promote them to senior, so they're just knackered all the time. So Squire becomes my passing midfielder. Substitute. I need to put the other two in the reserves to make it like clean, but it's not going to happen. Now I just decide who's going to be my attackers, and I think I may mention something about Alfred's 1500 at some point in time. I do. Obviously here you can see Hereward's not fit because he's still playing reserve team matches. Morton might still be playing reserve team matches. I've not even checked. And now I say that captain doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And I had a very quick glance to see if there's anyone new on any of the shortlists, which there isn't, which really annoys me. And then we go. So again, I say that it doesn't matter who your captain is. Now here I speak about the fact that I'm not sure. I play it on very fast and you probably can't read it, it's too quick. So I talk about putting it on fast or medium. I put it on medium first of all. And I kick off and it's just far too slow. If I can read every word, then it's too slow. So I put it on to fast. And I think this is better. Please let me know if you want it on slower. You can just put it at 0.5 speed. I might put it at the fastest one and you can put them on 0.25 speed to look at them. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Ramsey scores. El Sudani scores. I don't know what I'm looking at there. Oh, that's what I want to see, how many shots they've had. So my defenders can't defend, which is obviously a big problem, and Nolan also can't defend. So none of my defenders can defend. Always a big issue. Then I do say about the fact that I like to make my substitutes at half time because I can't be bothered to click the mouse in the middle of the match. And I speak about how the fact that players with high passing are more likely to score. And just after I say that, this happens. And that's why I've got my mouse over him, because I've gone, he's not a paid actor. Like Chess Sim says, he's not a paid actor. And then I'm quite happy with a 4-1 victory. Defenders not being able to defend means that they got 5 shots. I'm not happy about that, but you know, we won the game. What's the big issue? You see, I'm now saying that even though he can't tackle, he won 5 of his 6 tackles because his other attributes make up for it. Position him, strength, and then he's obviously good in the air. And then I say, look at all the shots that my central midfielder had. He had 7 shots and 5 on target, and that's why he gets all the goals. And then Scott Ramsey with his 11 finishing and 11 off the ball scored 2 for 2. And then I get really frustrated by the fact he's on £1,200 per week, but I realise that he's not actually on £1,200 per week. He's on nothing for me. He's on 1,200 for them. And then again, I lament the fact that Carl Alford is on 1,500. Never met the guy in my life, but you know, I don't want him to have that much money off me. Now I'm happy that we've got Darlington. I'm alright with Rodriguez. I'm really happy we're going to get Darlington. I don't give any sign-on fees because we are tight-fisted. So we're top of the league, I think. I do speak that Tony Sullivan's like an absolute genius in this division. I also say that the good teams like Farnborough, Doncaster, Baptiste always scores, D'Souza always scores. I say about that right column. I do say that Barnes is far better than he should be allowed to be. I don't understand why he's that good. And now I give up on Hardiker because I'm like, well, that's not happening, is it? I've not got enough will to get him to my team. And then again, I speak about Carl Alford's 1500. As you can tell, my head was falling off again. And then I spend a little bit of time saying that I need to get a few more players and that I'm not happy with the squad because I've got a very wafer thin set of very good players, and then I've got nothing behind. So what I will keep doing is I'll keep buying players until I've got, probably I want like 35 to 40 players that are worthwhile, and then I'll start upgrading them all the time. None of the players that I've got now are going to be the players that win the Champions League for me or win the Premier League for me, so I don't really need them. Again, I speak about how I'd love to sign this guy, and then I look at how much he wants, and I say, nope, that's not happening. So I make a small offer, which obviously isn't going to be accepted. Alford going is great. And then just after I've said about the fact that it's a big issue that we haven't got a really big full squad, and we sell Alford, so we've got loads more money now, so we can now sign an absolute superstar. I decide that I'm going to drop Ramsey after his 2 goals, and then I'm looking for who else is going to be on the bench. So I'm tempted to swap the attackers around, but eventually I decide against it. Darlington goes in, and Ramsey goes on the bench. Peters probably shouldn't be there. And then I see that Howard is still in the reserves, obviously, because why wouldn't he be? And we kick off against Forest Green. And I say that Forest Green are really annoying because they've got a guy who's got really good dribbling and finishing, but I can't remember his name. And obviously I don't even bother checking. Heggs causes problems because he's quite good. And then Perry gets sent off, their goalkeeper, their first choice goalkeeper. So you think, well, clearly this is going to be a lot of goals, not very many goals. So I look and I think, what's going on? And because I need goals, I think, well, Johnson's a bit unfit. Let's put Squire on because he's got passing. And I also go for 2 off the balls up front. And we restart the game. And from 10 shots and 3 on target, we just keep knocking on the door, and on the door, and on the door. Obviously, you know who's going to score here. Clearly Squire. Doesn't make any sense. And eventually, we get a victory. And I speak about how the fact I don't understand why passing is so lauded on this game in terms of scoring goals. And then I look at the shots that we had, and as you can see, very wasteful. Eventually we had 22 shots, 12 on target. They had no shots, none on target. And then I speak about the fact that, oh look, this goalkeeper that should not be a good goalkeeper has just got a 9 against me, made 11 saves, however many. Doesn't make any sense. And then in about 20 seconds you will see that I recognise that my microphone is unplugged, because I'm a little bit aghast at the fact that it's not recording, and I just sort of stop. So I go to look at the Argentinian search. I decide that I want to buy Capdevia because I just want more of attackers. Basically, if you can't score enough goals in this game, you just don't win games, obviously. So it's always worthwhile having too many attackers as opposed to not enough attackers. So if anyone gets injured, you've got absolute massive cover. And that's where I go on from Argentina to Australia, so I've gone 1 down now. That player, I sort of want him. I up the bid, but I don't think we get him. And then I now realise that I've not got the microphone plugged in. So this is where my head starts to fall off, just before we decide that we want Capdevia, and we put our bid in, and that's pretty much it for that video. So 2 games, 2 wins, and that's the rest of the uploads for today. I'll try and do a few more over the week. It won't be as regular as this, but I know people were desperate to see that first game. Like and subscribe, thank you, and good Bye.